Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Big Donch Show. Today we're going to be recapping Week 15 of the NFL season. Week 15 already. Hey, I'm happy though last night. Seahawks beat the Eagles. Crazy game. Upset, I think, already. Even though it was in Seattle, I think it was an upset. But I needed DK Metcalf to score 12 points. He was struggling for the first three quarters. He had like one catch for 8 yards. And I was thinking, oh no, it was fantasy football. Playoffs, alrighty. And all I needed was 12 points from DK Metcalf. And he came in clutch in the fourth quarter, let me say. Him and Drew Lock both. But that catch he had. 2 incredible catches at the end of the game. I'm advancing to the next round. Very happy. Even though DK Metcalf is a bit inconsistent. You know, he had those 3 touchdowns against Cowboys and now he's doing that. Hey, just get me through the season. So, let's take a look at this Thursday game. We had some Saturday games today. Or this week. I mean, I don't hate it too much, but, you know. 3 games on a Saturday? I don't know. Either way, we saw Thursday. What an embarrassment for the Chargers. Raiders win 63-21. I think this is mainly, an embarrassment more so on the Chargers than it is the Raiders being very, that good. Chargers are struggling. They fired Staley. Justin Herbert was down. Easton Stick didn't play bad, even though the majority of his touchdowns came from garbage time. He had 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, interceptions. That was garbage time, though. They didn't score anything in the first half. Raiders, though, they still did good. Aiden O'Connell, 248 yards, 4 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 101 yards receiving touchdowns. Amir White had a touchdown. Joshua Palmer had a touchdown for the Chargers. Mainly just garbage time. Okay, they had 7 points in the third quarter, then 14 in the fourth. Raiders, though, 21 points in the first quarter, 21 points in the second quarter, 14 in the third, 7 in the fourth. But either way, it wasn't that big of a performance. Good win, but I don't know. I ain't saying much. Jacoby Myers also had a passing touchdown. Okay, Brandon Bolden had a touchdown. I guess Josh Jacobs was out. Trey Tucker had 2 receiving touchdowns. Michael Mayer, Go Irish, had a touchdown. And Jacoby Myers also had a receiving touchdown. So Chargers are 5-9. They're way better. Their personnel-wise is so much better than their record, but they've been hit with injuries and, of course, bad coaching. And then Raiders are 6-8. I'm still not sold on them. Obviously, Pierce, he's winning them games. But they're better offensively than they were with McDaniels. But they still need a lot for them to be better again. Bengals 27, Vikings 24. This was the start of the Saturday games. Pretty good game. Went into overtime. And, Nick Mullins, he did what he could. 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jake Browning, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. He's playing very good football, filling in for Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon had a touchdown. Jamar Chase, only 4 receptions for 64 yards. He's dealing, though, with a shoulder injury. He might not play next week. Okay, but T. Higgins had himself a game. 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd, 53 yards. Bengals are 8-6 now. They're beating out my Steelers. We'll talk about that later. I don't even care what happens to the Steelers anymore. Ty Chandler had a touchdown, 132 yards rushing. Jordan Addison, 111 yards off 6 receptions for 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions, 84 yards. So Vikings are 7-7 now. They're still trying to get that NFC North. I don't think they'll get it, but they can still get a wild card spot now. I think the Lions have that on lock, but that AFC North, man, it's so good. It's so good. Bengals, they can get in. Jake Browning can lead them, not to the Super Bowl. Hey, maybe who knows? Maybe he'll pull Nick Foles or something. Colts now, Steelers. Second Saturday game. It just sucks. I'm not even that frustrated anymore or mad. I am, but I'm not mad. I'm not surprised at the loss, alrighty? I'm not surprised. We lose by 17 against the Colts. We own the Colts. I think we won our last 8 meetings against the Colts. We own the Colts. They finally beat us, good for them. But we just suck. We're just terrible right now. Mitch Trubisky, 169 yards, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jalen Warren, 10 carries, 40 yards. Deontay Johnson, 4 receptions, 62 yards, and a touchdown. Then Gardner Minshew playing good football. 215, 3 touchdowns. Trey Sermon, 88 yards. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 receptions, 78 yards. Now, from us, Micah Fitzpatrick's dealing with injuries. Cam Hayward's in concussion protocol. Kazi, he's out for the season now, not because of injury. Suspension. I think that was the right call to eject him from that game, and it was a dirty hit. You suspend him, though, for the rest of the season. That's a bit too much. People say, well, what do you do as a defender? You just let them catch the ball? He wasn't even playing the ball, all right? He was a defensive. Michael Pittman was a defensive receiver in the air, diving out, alrighty? Kazi drilled him, alrighty? He wasn't even playing the ball. He wanted to pop the ball out of him, right? And that's good if you're standing up. He was clearly a defensive receiver. Steeler fans don't like to see that. I'm a Steelers fan. I'm saying it was a dirty hit. There's no reason for it. Does he really mean it, though? I'm not saying any of that. But I guarantee, though, if it happened to one of our Steelers receivers, Steelers fans would be saying, get him out of here. It's all hypocrisy. I think it was the right decision to eject him and throw a flag. Suspend him the rest of the season, though, I think that was a bit much. Steelers are 7-7 now. We're starting Mason Rudolph this week. I think it's a joke, but it is what it is. Alrighty, I don't. We're just experimenting now, and he's nothing's gonna save our season. Alrighty, our season's over. We know that. The coaches, I'm sure, know that. Mike Tomlin knows that. Mike Tomlin better know he's on the hot seat. Players know it, though. Everybody knows it. We're just experimenting now. Hopefully Kenny Pickett comes back. I was looking, though. Kenny Pickett does have a good record. But I think he's nothing more than a game manager. And yeah, game manager can win us games. But when it comes to playoffs and Super Bowl, is it? I don't think so. Offense is struggling regardless. Play calling is not good. It is what it is. It is what it is. We have the Seahawks. And of course, they're hot. Bengals, they're hot. I think we're playing the Bengals next. And then the Ravens to end the season. I don't want to make playoffs. We'll get hammered. But I just want to see some positives. I want to see Mason Rudolph do good. But I'm not expecting much. Maybe we'll go 1-2. Mike Tomlin finally gets his losing season. Lions 42, Broncos 17. Jared Goff had himself a game. 5 touchdowns. Russell Wilson had a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs had 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown 112 yards and a touchdown. Lions are 10-4. I think they'll pull away with the NFC North. They'll get in. They can still compete though for the top of the division. Cowboys. I'm not top of the division. Top of the NFC. Cowboys and Eagles lost. Anything can happen. Saints 24, Giants 6. They finally win. They're competing now. The Saints are for the NFC South. Giants, they're obviously just a weak team. Danny DeVito. Fun player to watch. Don't expect much. Browns 20, Bears 17. Joe Flacco playing good football. Even though he had 3 interceptions, he's doing good for a veteran quarterback. We see the veteran plays that he makes on that team during those games. It's very impressive. Panthers 9, Falcons 7. Falcons are trying to get in. Trying to win the NFC South. They can't though. Buccaneers 34, Packers 20. Baker Mayfield. Good football as well. 381 yards, 4 touchdowns. Buccaneers 7-7. They're still trying to get the NFC South. Packers 6-8. They're slowly falling out. They had a chance. They had a good little run. Jordan Love definitely improved though. I have to say, Jordan Love definitely improved from the beginning of the season. Dolphins 30, Jets 0. I had Breece Hall. He had 2 yards. Come on. Not 2 yards. 2 points for me in fantasy football. Trevor Siemian, 110 yards, 2 interceptions. Tua Tagovailoa, 224 yards and a touchdown. Raheem Mostert, he's going crazy. 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 142 yards and a touchdown. Dolphins 10-4, Jets 5-9. Chiefs Patriots. Chiefs get by. We saw that interception that Mahomes threw wasn't really his fault. Kadarius Toney, they better not be starting him anymore. He cost a lot of games. They did win, but still. Kadarius Toney is a bad receiver. Texans 19, Titans 16. Overtime game. Texans won by field goal. Will Levis is struggling behind that terrible offensive line, but I still think that he's the future for the Titans. I didn't want to jump on the board for the first 2 games with him, but I see him with the Steelers. I've been seeing him lately. He needs help. I won't say he's the future, absolutely, but going into next season, they should build around Will Levis and treat him like the future. I'm not saying he's the definite future, but treat him like the future. I think that he could be solid. I was watching him against the Dolphins, putting his shoulder down. He's a tough guy. He's somebody I want to have as my quarterback. 49ers 45, Cardinals 29. Brock Purdy, system quarterback or not, he's playing good football. 242 yards, 4 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, Offensive Player of the Year, 1 touchdown. Also, 2 receiving touchdowns with 72 yards. I mean, that MVP race is close. Him and Brock Purdy. Dak Prescott fell out of it. Jalen Hurts fell out of it. Lamar Jackson, he's good, but I don't think he deserves it right now. It's between Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey. Tyreek Hill maybe also, he's dealing with injuries. But I think it's between Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy. 49ers, I think, are the most complete team in the NFL. They're 11-3. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the Super Bowl this year. If I was to make a Super Bowl winner right now, I'd have to go with the 49ers. I don't want to see it because they'll be tied with the Steelers again with the Patriots for the 6 Super Bowls. But I think if I was to pick, though, it'd be them. Rams 28, Commanders 20. Matt Stafford had a good game, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett had 2 touchdowns as well, though they were at garbage time. Kyron Williams, go Irish, he's playing good, 152 yards rushing and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, looking good again, 111 yards and a touchdown. Rams are 7-7, they're 500. They can squeeze into the playoffs as well. They gotta hope the Vikings lose, though. Bills beating the Cowboys, 31-10. Cowboys just can't beat these big games. They beat the Eagles, but the Eagles are starting to lose now, too. Josh Allen, a touchdown. James Cook, 179 yards rushing and a touchdown. And then he also had a receiving touchdown. He might have had 2 receiving touchdowns. I know he dropped 1. Yeah, just 1 receiving touchdown. Bills are 8-6 now. They're going to take our Steelers spot for the playoffs. Fine with me. Cowboys 10-4. So Cowboys already clinched. But you got to win those games. Ravens 23, Jaguars 7. I think the Ravens will pull away with the AFC North. Jaguars, they're choking though. They're with the Texans for the AFC South and the Colts. Okay? They had it. I had them as the AFC South winners going into the season. And it's a 3-way tie right now. You have the Jaguars. Yeah, the Titans are eliminated. So, Texans, Colts, and Jaguars. That's closer than we thought. Trevor Lawrence had a touchdown. He's not playing very good football, though. He fumbled. It wasn't even touched. He just bobbled out of his hands. Ravens are 11-3. Steelers, I think we could beat them again. And then last night, Seahawks, Eagles. Seahawks won 2017. Jalen Hurts, 2 interceptions, but 2 rushing touchdowns. Close touchdown. When I see rushing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts compared to other quarterbacks, I don't really care that much because a lot of his touchdowns come from tush pushes and, of course, really rushing touchdowns within 10 yards and things like that. Compared to, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they're real quarterback rushing touchdowns. Drew Lock had a touchdown, though, that clutch passing touchdown to Smith and Jogba at the end. That was huge. Kenneth Walker had a touchdown. But, yeah, Seahawks are 7-7. They can squeeze in, too, so they're competing with the Vikings and the Rams, okay? Who I want out of there? Probably the Rams to get in. But it is what it is. But, yeah, hey, make sure you leave a like. Let me know down below what you think. I'm out, guys. Peace. That was NFL Week 15 recap. Make sure to stay tuned for next week's. I'm out, guys. Peace. Oh, we gotta stop this. Here we go. I'm out, guys. Peace.